I got a little bit more work done on that tail cone today, so let's go see what I did. So welcome back. Last time we left off on this baby, it was about this stage. The aircraft was on its side, so it looked a little different. I need to verify level squareness, which I've already done, and then I need to upsize drill any of the smaller holes from the new panels up until the number 30 drill bit, which will make them ready for the copper clecos. Then I will double check my squareness one last time. I will cleco all the holes just to make sure it's rigid and square the way it belongs, and then I will start to final rivet these couple of replacement pieces back into place. Now I have to be very careful and think about what I can and can't rivet, because the rear support that goes back here that holds the rudder vaders has still got to fit into the longerons, which are tapering in, and the let me show you quick. Okay, so here's the rear support for the rudder vaders, and if you notice, this part has a taper, and the same with the upper mount here, and this needs to go between the four longerons on the rear. So in order to be able to get this in at a later stage, I cannot final rivet all of the shear plate on one side to the longerons. I cannot this, I won't call it a final plate because this is the final plate in the tail cone. This plate here that's about 4 inches prior to the rear of the tail cone, I can't finish rivet that in because I've got to allow for a little bit of a spread here. So I just have to be super cautious how I approach this. If not, it'll end up drilling out more rivets, potentially damaging parts. So for now, at least what I'm trying to accomplish today is get the pieces the factory had in the quick build kit back where they were, which is this rear bulkhead for the turtle deck, the replaced L piece of aluminum that attaches that to the shear plate. I will probably finish riveting one side of the longeron in. The other side I will leave in with copper clecos, so that can be removed. I can rivet in one side of this last rib here, or support, or whatever you want to call it. I may not do that though, because now that I think of it, I need to use the guide holes in this upper piece of angle for the rudder vaders as a guide to drill this top longeron, and in doing so I'll need to have access from the bottom. Possibly could be done with those foot-long drill bits that I purchased, or if I remove this last panel, I should be able to go in with the regular drill and just pop up with the small drill bit to start, and then I can finish drill them from the top once I have them located. So not 1000% sure how far I'm going to get with this today, but I'm going to go about it slowly, cautiously, and constantly maintaining that the longerons are level and squared with the front, which is leveled all the way through the process. So watch me work. Thanks. And whoever it was that suggested this style angle cleco pliers, thank you very much. It is, well, the fact that they're spring loaded is awesome, and it's just a much more comfortable hand position. So I appreciate it. I'm going to put a link in the description below for anybody else that wants to get a pair of these. Huge time saver. I have 3 other pairs that will probably never be used again except for certain specific angles. Now I get to try that angle drill for the first time. I don't know if you can see, but I can rotate this tight 90-degree drill head into tight spaces now. And I have drill bits even shorter than that, and that's barely over an inch probably. So, can drill in any angle. Alright, looks like I might need those other pliers after all. They do serve a purpose. It's amazing how rigid this is right now with just these clecos holding it in place. The bottom isn't tight, but yeah, it's crazy. Alright, let's get to level and see that things are square, level, plumb. I just realized there's no holes at the end of this shear plate, and I want to say yeah, they come off of this bracket here, so I'm going to reposition this, re-cleco this, and somehow locate and drill these 3 holes from the back side up, which I can do now with my angle drill coming in through the rear because the upright's not going to be on there. So, but this part's deburred. Let me finish deburring these longerons first. I'll reassemble this, drill this, match drill this to this, take it apart, deburr those, finish the deburring up here, then I think I can start reassembling. Now I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this at all as I spin it. I'm letting the cutting edge just gently drag across the surface of the hole. All I want to do is just barely take the burr off. I'm really not trying to remove any material. So, all right, last piece, last one. All right, and if you guys remember, one of the key stopping points here was I wanted to talk to Carrie specifically about this piece because some of the holes are drilled pretty darn close to the edges. Some are off the edges or doubled because of that reason or whatever. Considering the way everything else is supported and the job that this does really, this is more than adequate. It's perfectly fine actually, and he said they did change some process in the way they make this, so it's no longer a problem in future kits or anything. Not that it's a problem here, but aesthetically it could look a little bit better, but it's structurally fine. So that's what's allowing me to get back into reassembling this. Okay, this is ready for rivets. I think I'm going to take just a little more time to decide exactly what I want to rivet. This I can rivet, this I can rivet. As far as the ability to spread the longerons later to get the rear renovator upright in there, that last piece, probably need to read on that a little bit more. So yeah, and my wife made plans tonight. It's date night, so I cannot stay here much longer, and I think this is a good place to stop for now. Next time you see me, we'll start the riveting process. Who knows, maybe I've done a little more research on that renovator end piece, and that may come into play, not come into play yet. That's a lot of what's involved with this is reading and trying to thoroughly understand the plans and how each part interplays with the next parts, what parts need to be done prior, so you don't work yourself into a corner, have to undo work to redo it. And that's not the end of the world if you have to. You just don't want to get too far down that hole, because the more rivets you have to drill, the more parts you have to remove, there's more chance of doing damage. So I think most of this is the thought process. The actual labor, I think anybody could do with a little bit of training. There's nothing complicated. You drill a lot of holes. For every one of these clecos that is holding two pieces together, you're drilling a few times. You've got to deburr two sides of each part. You assemble it, you disassemble it, you reassemble it, you disassemble it, maybe you reassemble it, maybe you rivet it, maybe you just hold it and wait to disassemble it for a later component that needs to come into place. You just got to be patient, think things through, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is just do it as well as I possibly can. So I know it's slow going and hard to watch sometimes, and I'll speed it up, or I'm not doing anything of real interest, as you've figured out by now. And I won't show you every little thing that I do, but for the most part, I'm really enjoying this. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it. So if you've got a minute and you're really interested, click the subscribe button and share the videos with your friends. The thumbs up never hurts either. It makes YouTube realize that I might be providing something of value here. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to get ready for dinner.